Alright guys, and here we go with a live look at Borderlands 4. And as you may have seen yesterday in the demonstration, unfortunately, and really unfortunately, it ain't great. There are many issues, so basically the content I'm planning now is just this review. Basically it's gonna be in the format of a live review. We'll review it on the go. I'll try to not repeat stuff too much. I'll try to interact less with the chat in the beginning, so initially we'll just have a live review of the Gore. Then afterwards we can talk about pretty much, literally anything else after that. And yes, so, and by the way, of course, if mods come out that enhance any of it, even if just some tweaks to make stuff stay, yeah, like, I'll cover that for sure for anyone who does indeed love the game. As I'm seeing here in the chat right now, personally, yeah, like, my thing in a game like this would be more combat and gore. Not really my thing, the everything else, but for the folks who do very much enjoy it, hopefully perhaps at least mods can improve it. And before we begin, as you can see I do have a new featured print of a, I can't see it too well, but it is a Toyota Supra. And you know, I always loved that car, and here in Israel I couldn't really find them all too much. Like, probably if I hang out around the center area, for sure. But here in Haifa there is only one white one, and while it's kind of a dull color for a car as cool as this, and if you may have seen the previous stream, we have been with the art stand at a drifting event, where I had a chance to snap some really cool references that already became beautiful paintings, and one of those is this majestic, heavily modified Supra on track, right as it is beginning its drifting run. So yeah, very cool painting. And by the way, we are back to shipping to the US, so there was a bit of chaos with the tariffs, still kind of is, but not great, but at least we are back to shipping to the US, so there's that. And without further ado, let's get right into Borderlands and see what's there. Okay, so I should have some human enemies. I think I kind of want the human enemies, not the yes, I do have some human enemies, so as far as I saw on them, you basically have a chance-based dismemberment, so on humans I've seen heads come off, I've seen them get, well, you've seen them in the demonstration, I've seen them get, oh yeah, so one thing I have to mention right away, yeah, of course, I die showcasing Gore for you, that's a part of this being on this channel. Yeah, here we go, so dismemberment is basically chance-based, and you know, I'm not expecting a realistic damage model in this game, of course, it would be kind of silly. But what I think is reasonable to expect is, for the very least, you know, on the fatal impact, to have dismemberment be activated kind of as it reasonably should. So, if the dismembering impact should remove the head, it should do it. And it isn't the case here, it's basically entirely chance-based, and as you have seen, you can have an SMG basically just give the upper half of the body, and yeah, that is one of the variations. You can have the upper half of the torso be given. Can be done with explosives, can be done with a shotgun, can be done with a revolver, and can be done with an SMG, so once again, not seeking realism, but just seeking a response that makes sense on the fatal hit. And as I mentioned, it is entirely chance-based, so it may be activated, it may not be activated. Yeah, so, do we have the lower half actually remain on this guy, or was he entirely gibbed? I think he may have been actually entirely gibbed. And I haven't seen it head gib that was right over here. Interesting. Because playing it I've only seen the upper half be gibbed, I haven't seen the lower half be gibbed. Yeah, we are busy reviewing Gore here, guys. Mind not bugging me. Trying to review the Gore here. And right now it really kind of refuses to activate much of any dismemberment. Maybe that can like do something. Can I remove her head perhaps with a shotgun? Still no, so as I'm saying, it isn't entirely chance based, so even if I was right next to her, wouldn't have done any difference, which is not great whatsoever. Anyway, let's try to... okay, yeah. Yeah, like once again I had an explosive here and this guy wasn't gibbed. So it appears to be just entirely chance based. Let's see if I can dismember anything on him. I'll go for the head because I have seen the head come off. Actually on the humanoid enemies I haven't seen limbs come off. I have seen them come off on the dog-like things or whatever, but I haven't seen any limbs come off on human enemies yet. And I have seen the upper half be gibbed. And I have seen limbs come off on the kind of robot-like characters, I suppose. So limbs do come off on them. I think if I go further I should be able to have some more enemies to perhaps do a few showcases on. Maybe actually have some bloody thing activate, who knows. And as you may have seen, like, not as if the lack of dismemberment is compensated with some glorious wounds. We have absolutely nothing. And as you have seen, characters are quite spongy. It is just, yeah, like, I'm not gonna rag on that specifically too much because it's just the design of the game, you know. I'm not a fan, I like, you know, like... I like bullets being bullets, shotguns being shotguns, you know, like point blank shotgun to face should probably remove it in one hit, but that's the game's design. I'm not gonna rag on it too much. And as I was saying, there are no wounds either, so as you can see... Wow, yes, so dismemberment like really refuses to activate. Could be a new patch thing, could be like... I now think it's in shotgun mode, okay, yeah, and so now it's probably shotgun mode, so maybe now it's gonna remove stuff, but even then, like, I have seen, as you've seen in the video, like, I had a revolver just cut a guy in half. So, not as if... Here we go, so... as you can see, we do have a head removed. But yeah, it is entirely chance-based, and as you have seen, pistols can give characters entirely. But yeah, it was my mistake. I was apparently on pistol mode when shotgun mode should activate stuff more consistently. I think I've had enemies in that direction, yeah, so my mistake. But nonetheless, it does hold true. We have seen it in the demonstration. It is what it is. But in terms of wounds, so nowadays it doesn't really have to be recos or anything, it just there are much more efficient methods to let's see if we can remove perhaps a limb, a leg or something. Trying to carefully aim for the egg. So as I was saying, I haven't really seen limbs come off on human enemies. And I've waited for a bit. I'll try to remove a head just to give you some fun response, I suppose. So please be my head model. Will her head be removed? Yeah, here we go. Yeah, here we go. So I will say the rolling brains are a fun touch. Absolutely. You have like heads rolling, you have beats getting spread around. That's always fun. Always. And I think a consistent way I can activate the upper torso obliteration with is with the shield mode. Let's see if I can make that happen. So shield mode. I think should be able to. I have been able to obliterate upper halves with just this, but I literally haven't seen limbs come off on the human enemies. And as I was saying, there are no wounds either, and you know, it doesn't have to be in the likes of that Island 2. That still isn't the standard, but I do think what should be standard is at least some response at the point of impact. And nowadays we actually don't, it doesn't have to be glitchy as Unreal Engine decals, which were pretty great in 3, but in UE 4 and 5 just putting decal on character is quite glitchy, and I have no idea why. Maybe perhaps a gibber. I refuse to get gibbed. Maybe perhaps try to remove someone's leg. Maybe. Nah, no legs removable. Yeah, once again. Maybe if I use this thing, I can perhaps keep him in half for the very least to... nope. Not that either, so... As I'm saying, what should be a standard is some degree of response at the point of impact, and you know, it can be just blood. We can just have just blood where we hit him. But also, multiplayer really isn't... I remember when it first came out with Wolverine, that Wolverine game, however it was called, was pretty huge, like really impressive, and you only really had it on Wolverine, but still was so very cool to see. But nowadays that isn't really so very uncommon. It is doable, and I do think that in a game like this, okay, so we'll take it to the premise of this game. So as you've seen, we don't have anything remotely like reasonable damage values. Everyone's a bullet sponge, so perhaps the devastation on the body could be with accordance to how much health you removed from that specific character. So if you use like a high-powered weapon on, let's say, a less powerful character, it's gonna tear him apart badly. But if we have like a sponge like this, it would put much smaller holes and much smaller blood splatter where you hit him. I think that's perhaps a way to do something like that in a game like this, where once again, like, the damage values are by no means in no way reasonable. And yeah, that's just gonna be what it is. As I mentioned, not going to rag on that too much. By the way, to everyone who joined, I'm basically right now live reviewing it. I'll be interacting with the comments later, to hopefully make this stream be more rewatchable after it's done. So as for the blood spitting, yeah, kinda hard to showcase that. Maybe I can... Do I have her? What the hell, she survived. She survived. As I was saying, the damage values are anything but reasonable in this game. So within that, I think like the amount of flash of the bottom layer exposed should kind of like be proportionate to the damage dealt to the characters. So character with thicker skin would have less visible damage done on him if you're using a less powerful weapon. I think that's perhaps the way to do it. I don't want to showcase the blood spilling. Guys, come to the sandy area, please. Can I just at least like remove this area? So the heads seem to be removing consistently with the shotgun mode, but limbs, haven't seen them come off, and so far we only saw one gibbing, and please come to the place where I can showcase the blood spilling on. Alright, yeah, that should be by all means good enough. Alright, thank you. So as for the good, you will have a consistent response at the moment of impact. So basically, every hit, as far as I saw, will cause a stain to be spilled on the environment. However, as you can see, we have some pretty big issues here. Doesn't even take long to get to them, so if you even manage to snap a look, just if you're rewatching it, just go back a few seconds. The stain patterns are about as uninteresting as it can get, you know, just like a circle with some kind of splatty around it, and that is, as far as I saw, you have, I think, maybe on the gibbing, I think I've seen perhaps something a little bit more interesting, perhaps. But other than that, these stains are about as uninspiring as they can get, which is quite unfortunate. But you know, even like shitty stains, if they pile up, if you have like a whole bunch of bodies and just a huge chunk of the area be covered in blood, can still have a reasonably strong effect, but that's not really what we have here, as you've seen. Lasting mass is in absolute no way a factor. And yeah, like, and I don't know, this game has performance issues, but honestly, I really doubt that some lasting decals and lasting frozen bodies are gonna make the difference between playable frame rate and just it tanking entirely. And even then, frankly, I just lower the lighting and shadows even further. Right before we find more enemies, so I have checked it out. It is currently, as far as I saw, the Stalker 2 mod is still very much work in progress. Kind of a little bit too early for me for a showcase, but do keep me posted when it's gonna get updates. Because sure, I am down for that. You know what? Let's just reload it and go back to those same enemies, basically. Because I do want to showcase that you can knock enemies over. Yeah, here we go. So I think everyone should have respawned. Yep, here we go. So try to go for the leg from up close. From up close. Come on, come on. Yeah, come on. Really haven't seen limbs come off. Try to go for the arms. Literally have not seen any limbs come off on those characters. And for whatever reason I can't knock them over. You know, it's probably, once again, it's probably more of the stats games, so maybe the shotgun I changed to is, you know, like, doesn't knock enemies over. What I had earlier, so like some shotgun that did knock characters over. Was it this one? Yeah, like... Let's see if that fucking knocks anything over. No, I haven't... haven't used this one. Let's see what it does, what the hell. Let's see what it does. Did his... Yeah, so finally we actually have an arm coming off, what the hell? Yeah, so... They can come off. But for whatever reason they usually don't. And by the way, here's the Wookiee burning and they're disappearing as they burn. Do I have like some shotgun? Yes, so as you've seen, like now I had an arm come off. First time in this stream, and yay, I suppose. Let's see, do I have like some shotgun? I had some other shotgun. Was that the one I used? Let's see, most recent. And that's the one I used before. Make any difference? Yeah, I had some shotgun. But I can't find now. Whatever. I only have this burning one, and maybe it can remove a leg. Maybe I can see a leg removed. Nope. I think his arm may have been removed. May have. Shotgun, thank you. Thank you, yes. See if that does anything. Nope, still no leg is removed. Let's see if it at least removes head. Consistently. One way to find out. Yeah, so I think it affects like a knockover, which I have seen, like... I don't remember what I was using, but I have seen pretty consistent knocking over. It's probably like weapon specific stuff, which I don't think I'm really a fan of. So let's see, can I like knock, no, like... Center of mass hits, ah yeah. I don't know, was the head removed from distance? Okay, so at least the head wasn't removed from this distance. At least that, and from close range, can I remove it? Can I remove the head? Yeah, so from close range the head indeed was removed. Oh, so apparently they're also kind of like... Ah, so it isn't only the circular patterns, like... Because before, I've seen only pretty much circular patterns, and here we had like some splat. So, mild correction. Can I remove an arm perhaps? Nope. Yeah, so as we're seeing right now, we're just seeing response animations, characters tanking a crap ton of damage, and there is actually a brief death animation. As I was filming for the demonstration, it was like a little bit more clear. It kind of, I will say the blend of the brief death animation with the ragdoll is pretty smooth. I could really see it like very clearly only once, so at least we do have that. Now not just a limp ragdoll, there is a brief death animation and transition with into the ragdoll is pretty smooth, so we do have that. But as you can imagine, like no, as far as I saw, no particularly interesting animation responses. Which will also be expected. I wasn't expecting anything of that type in this game. But honestly, I was expecting body damage to be better than this, because this really is not good. Not good. Yeah, so something came off. Probably the head. So I was expecting better body damage. Do I have like some explosive barrel to perhaps blow something up? Any barrels anywhere to So I was expecting better body damage, and here we have a barrel, here we have a barrel. And I was expecting better aftermath, because this ain't good whatsoever. Once again, I think nowadays with the damage painting techniques, there really is no excuse for no body damage at all. I'm not sure why I can't activate the upper half gibbing. And yeah, and by the way, I have zero issue with bodies freezing, but if they froze and stuck around, once again, like, I'm no game dev, but I can almost guarantee bodies sticking around and bodies and blood sticking around wouldn't take the frame rate to entirely unplayable. That's not the big issue of this game in terms of performance. Hey, can you come to this barrel, please? Can you please go to this barrel, because I can't pick it up. Can take that thing, but not the barrel. Yeah, so I think I'll just be right with you in the comments as we'll make the conclusion. And the conclusion, yeah, like even if you take into account the base design of it basically being a game of values, you know, that constant dopamine hit of level up, of finding a weapon that has like some damage value higher than what you currently have. That's the core concept. I'm not a fan whatsoever, but it is what it is. But even with this core concept in mind, I think the response could have been done way better. For the very least in terms of semi-adequate body damage. And aftermath, because as I was saying, the stains here aren't great. They're not gonna wow you. But if you had it all pile up, you could at least have some degree of an aftermath. Yeah, I'm actually seeing more stain variety right now than I've noticed before, so gotta be honest about that. There is a little bit more of a stain variety than I have seen before, and I think perhaps when you hit this character, when you hit the metal parts, you have oil spilled, which is cool detail for sure. But even with those things in mind, response-wise, it isn't underwhelming. Maybe I can perhaps explode him on this. Can I remove his head? Trying to be very careful. Now I have some limbs removed, and was the head removed? Yeah, the head seemingly was not removed, so I was going for the head. I have no idea what happened, why he exploded, but hey, first time seeing any body damage on this character. For the first time, because when I played it before, I just see absolutely nothing. Like maybe he was gonna nade me and I shot his nade or something. I don't know. I was going for the head and he exploded and had some limbs removed. I have no idea what happened. Can I get him to come here and just maybe give him? Yeah, so best I can do is just make a brief response animation, but I literally haven't seen the ragdoll based knockover in this stream at all. So no idea what's up with that. Yeah, so in conclusion, no, not really my type of game, but if it was responsive, I could enjoy that aspect for sure. And as I was saying before, I think that there are ways to make even an experience like this, even the values-based fuckery, be responsive. But yeah, I imagine folks who are enjoying this probably are enjoying it for entirely different reasons. But yeah, so let's just do some combat and talk with the chat, I suppose. Right, James, yes, so Kazanos mod. I have a video will be coming later this week, hopefully in a day or two, just the initial showcase. Yeah, I will be showcasing that for sure. The previews looked great, but didn't really have time. Other things to do, but yeah, we'll be showcasing that. I will be showcasing the finals. I do have to have a look at the finals, because destruction improvement, sweet, and by the way, destruction that is absolutely beautiful. Not a fan of the gameplay in the finals, of the very high time to kill, but the destruction is just something else. You know, like, give me that, just more grounded. In a game like, I don't know, something more tactical, I would say Battlefield. Yeah, like, please give me the final destruction in Battlefield, without limitations for balance. That would be pretty bloody sweet. But yeah, I will be showcasing the improvements in the finals and enjoying that. Building Gore, beautiful, beautiful. Building Gore. And I'm currently working on a full commentary video on the RDR2 pet damage overhaul mod. Which, by the way, is amazing, actually. Gotta say. Really enjoying that. So hopefully sometime next week, this coming week, it's gonna come out on Patreon first. Then a week later for everyone else, and yeah, like, as you can see, as you could briefly see, this weapon removes arms. Gotta say, death animation, playing when the character is beheaded, in a game like this, it's funny. So I think perhaps a key takeaway here, which is very often a key takeaway. Can I remove perhaps legs with this weapon? It's basically details matter, like small details matter, like small fun touches, they matter. And there's actually a few of them, but that's the problem. Not so very many, like not many at all, which I think is unfortunate. So seemingly in terms of those characters, because with this weapon I am able to semi-consistently remove arms, and he was knocked over. Yeah, so first time seeing a character be knocked over, he was briefly ragdolled. So I have seen this weapon semi-consistently remove arms, but apparently not legs. Now, just assume that for humanoid enemies we have no leg removal, basically. I'll try a few more times too, but probably no leg removal. Yeah, so this... Yeah, so... Okay, so that for sure confirms effects like knockover, dismemberment are entirely weapon based, so this weapon has knocked characters over. Other shotguns, which are, you know, like still a blast of force into the torso, into the head, doesn't knock over, but this weapon specifically does, so yeah, also not a fan of that. Just let, even in this game, if a shotgun knocks over, unless it's massively underpowered, let weapons be weapons, you know, like it should not knock over, like, because I have seen like a shotgun bout as powerful as this do knock over when I was filming for the demonstration, as the previous one, I mean. But then when I was testing here, yeah, okay, so when I was shooting the leg and the arm was removed. Yep, so can I have a more clear confirmation legs aren't removable? No, what perhaps sucks the most is that this weapon is the only one I'm getting so far consistent activation of dismemberment, and it makes the characters vanish even faster than they originally were, so yeah, like once again, weapons don't have to be realistic, but at least on the fatal hit, if I'm using a shotgun, any shotgun, please, you know, like activate the appropriate response for a fatal hit for a shotgun from up close. Like, don't make it weapon specific. Why? Why make responses weapon specific? Makes no sense. Maybe shock thing is gonna be like... Oh no, it also makes them vanish much faster. Of course it does. I'll reload again, I'll see if I can find... I'll try to do a quest for a shotgun that is gonna activate stuff consistently, but won't make them vanish even faster than they do by default. Fuck me. No, like if I can have his rocket gun, that'd be pretty sweet. If I can have his did drop it. I have seen the gun fall there, like his rocket gun should probably have could perhaps activate some big mutilation, because that's the body damage we have here. Yeah, no, dropped rocket gun inside. Oh, the gun was, at least in his case, obliterated. Perhaps in the case of that other guy too. Gun was just, the gun was gibbed. You see? The gun was gibbed. Time to respawn again, I suppose. Nah, you know, you can't have nice things unless they are specifically dropped for you, so yeah, like, can't pick up his potentially fun rocket gun. But, okay, so this should cost something. Hopefully two characters not in water. Hopefully. Should cause something. Here we go, here we go. Oh no. Missed, and was aiming at bullet sponge anyway, which wouldn't have killed him. Maybe if I kill everyone here, I might get some shotgun that does something fun, perhaps? Maybe? But, you know, like, activates dismemberment consistently, but doesn't make them vanish even faster. Or activates dismemberment or shoot him. No, like not removing the arm or when you shoot the leg. Be kind of lovely. I can probably get this boss character thing. Okay, yeah. And even the boss doesn't drop any new gun, it seems. Yeah, so as you can see, the knock over effect is effective. But yeah, I think I'll just I'll finish whoever we have here, and that's gonna be it for me today. At least had an easy showcase of the human enemies. Wish once again I do wish dismemberment was activated according to weapon type and not specific weapon. But yeah, like the one I'm carrying right now can only remove heads. So head removed consistently. Let's go for the arm. Go for the arm. Nope, no arm removed, while the other shotgun that makes them vanish very quickly removes an arm when you shoot the leg. So performance right now, it probably isn't 60 FPS, I'm probably playing it around 50, I have no FPS counter. It's probably around 50, because it is smooth enough, like I have no complaints. I have seen some frame drops here and there, so let me just show you. Yeah, so what the hell, let's show the settings, what I have right now. So visuals, advanced. I was just going, setting my settings, so no upscaling, F that. The loading range can be medium. Geometry, presumably, that would affect the stumps, perhaps. So I have to high. Textures, of course, high. Foliage can be medium. Volumetric fog, I'll make it even lower, to be honest. I don't really care about that too much. Basically, anything that may have an effect on the response mechanics, I try to keep as high as possible. Like, for example, reflections, if you had like CSC, so as I was first tweaking those configs, I thought, you know, like maybe there's butt pulls, maybe they reflect, so I don't want to have the reflection quality be very high. Not quite the case. Motion blur always off. So as you can see, even in a game like this, where performance is more rough than it should be, the settings I expect to affect the gore, I always have them maxed out. Everything else, shadows, lighting, can just go to hell, as far as I care. Just show me the gore in all its detail. Or let me confirm in that in the maximal graphical settings, the lag, the off. So yeah, I think we're done here. Do we have any more enemies? I will say Link, personally not a fan of the physics stuff. It looks like some weird red goo. Doesn't look believable to Bud. It can deliver a fun response for sure, but you know, perhaps if that was used to spawn some decals, so if that was used to do some calculation on how to spawn decals, it could perhaps look great, but yeah. Otherwise, not really a big fan, so yeah, I think we're done with all the enemies, and I'll just conclude this. So, if you heard my conclusion before, you can see my thoughts throughout. I really don't think I'm missing out on too much detail by not going further in the game. I think what we have here is what we have, and there's probably not a great deal beyond, maybe some specific weapons that activate some specific effect, some specific animation like the burning one we had here, which I haven't had in the showcase. So perhaps my absolute final conclusion is Randy, brothers in arms, please. So that's it for today. I might actually stream tomorrow, stay tuned, same hours today, and if I will, it's gonna be something much happier, so let's still have the stream for this week be on a more positive note, so perhaps see you tomorrow.